Let's go.
Yeah.
That's the remix.
Say boy.
Some motherfucking remix.
You're so good at the little ad-libby bits.
Ah, brah.
What, brah?
I should have been a DJ. Shoulda, woulda.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda, woulda,
Oh, yeah. Analyzed. You know when you type in your name, your social media into one of those. It was Ninjalytics. Now it's called Not Just Analytics.
Okay.
And they give you like your engagement and all this kind of stuff and your user engagement and stuff. I'm like, ew.
When they rank you out of everyone else on Instagram and they're like, oh, you're number 18,475,000 in
No,
terms of
they said I have a
engagement.
1.17 engagement rate.
Yeah, but you're kind of
I'm kind of come back.
Yeah. So give yourself a
No,
time.
Muriel, I want it all now. No, it's good. I'm happy with it. I lost a few followers at the start. That was bound to happen when you kind of...
When you come back?
Yeah. And
but
then...
that's when you don't want them.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I gained like 9 followers in the last day, I think, or
Nice.
so. I'm like, it's not about followers. I know, Muriel.
No,
I
but
know.
slow and steady wins the race.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I say.
Just keep putting content out. I'm going to take a photograph after this for my social media.
Jay, can we acknowledge something?
Dabra.
Can we acknowledge that we are fish a year podcasting?
A year podcasting.
1 year. 1 whole year.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for keeping us on the air.
Yeah. In fact, thank you to the one person who keeps listening. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? What a year.
I know.
What an insane year.
So much has
That's why
happened.
I just asked you, I was like, when did we actually start?
Yeah. Because I think if you, like, you know, all these memes that are coming out now where it's like 20, was 2019? No, 2020 was when the pandemic hit.
Yes, March 2020.
But like all the memes that are coming out where it's like 4 months to 2022, which means it's basically like going to be 3 years from 2019 or whatever it was. And like that feels like it's just gone so fast.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you think about what's happened in the last year, it's hard to believe that was a year ago. I feel like it was longer.
9/11 happened 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's terrifying.
Isn't it?
When you put it in that context, 20 years ago, I was like, I remember that. I was like, but I'm not getting into it. But
Yeah.
I heard on the radio, I was like, 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We old.
Oh,
We're not.
We are not. We are young.
Young
and
sprouts.
Yeah.
I
So
believe
much
the word is
opportunity.
sprout. What was your week like?
My week is good. I just adjusted my chair. My chair was too high and now it's perfect.
You stay in frame.
Week was good. I think people are very much like, I feel like people are ready. Like I had a few consultation calls now today with people who I hadn't spoken to in a few months because they were like, I'm going to take a bit of time off in the summer. And now like everyone's literally like, okay, like let's go, let's hit the ground running.
Yeah.
And
Definitely that feeling.
there is, and I love that feeling.
Yeah.
Because I think like, you know, people are slowly coming back and they're slowly just kind of finding their feet again, but they're taking their time doing it. They're not like, it's not like, oh, it's the 1st of September. I need to start posting every single day from now on. It's just more that they're thinking more about their content and knowing that they should be a bit more active now. But ease yourself into it. Like, don't go, like, there's a few people I've had to kind of settle down a bit. Because they're like, okay, I've made my goals. I'm going to post every single day. I'm going to post a reel every second day. And I'm going to go on my stories all of the time. And week 1, they do really, really well. And then week 2, they start to slip. And then week 3. And then because they've put themselves under so much pressure to have to post every day, which nobody's putting them under pressure for but themselves, and to come up with reels every single second day or whatever it is, they're just like, you're going to come into like creative fatigue, but you're putting yourself under too much pressure. It's the same when people start diets, like at the start of whatever, right? They're like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym every single morning. I'm going to eat like 500 calories a day and I'm going to do that now. And that's going to be the new me. And the first week you're so into it. And then the second week you're fatigued. You're like, why don't I have energy? Oh, I'll skip the gym today. That becomes the next day and the next day because they're setting too unrealistic of goals. And I think that now that you're back, you know, if you're kind of coming back online, like ease yourself into it. Don't just go, right, that's it, posting every single day. I have to be on it now.
And what's your opinion then on like the recommended amount of posts and this kind of stuff?
like there is no magic number. Like there's no magic
Every
number.
profile is different.
And there's no magic time to post, and there's no magic number for everything because everybody's account is different and everyone's audience is different. But I think if you're literally going from 0, start with 2 to 3 a week. Give yourself 2 to 3 a week, space them out, and notice your engagement. Because I find that, like, for some accounts that I manage, their stuff is still getting interactions 2 to 3 days after posting.
Yeah.
So I've actually posted less because the organic engagement is so strong.
What kind of following do they have?
Like 800.
Okay.
Which, well, it's a
give or
new
take.
account.
Yeah,
It's a brand new
yeah.
brand. But like that, the followers, now there is paid social going all the time.
Yeah.
Like there's paid campaigns going.
Okay.
But like the followers are like always coming in. But I find that literally engagement is so good 1 to 2 to 3 days after I've posted that I'm like, I don't want to kill the organic reach of my post that I just did. So I'm going to wait and I'm going to post every 2 to 3 days as opposed to every day because I'm giving that organic reach its time.
Yeah.
And the paid social all the time is always kind of funneling in whatever activity I need. So there is no set, like I would never say to somebody post 5 times a week.
And the
post 6
content
times
has
a
to
week.
make sense.
Yeah.
We've said this before. Don't just post for the sake of posting to try and trick the algorithm. Like you'll get the engagement if the content makes sense to you and your brand, if it's relevant.
Yeah.
That's when engagement happens. Like.
Yeah. And then look, I mean, I have other accounts then that have to post way more, especially retail. I mean, if you're selling clothing or anything to do with that, you're posting
shopping posts
like throughout the day. So they could be up to 5, 6, 7, 8, sometimes 10 posts a day. So it's all relevant to your account.
Yeah. And just keep an eye, just keep looking at your analytics, just keep tracking everything. Keep tracking. When you track your insights, do you actually take pen and pad and write down, or like a spreadsheet?
Oh yeah, I have like an audit document that I do, and then it's.
Is that like a monthly thing? Everything you do for accounts, is it, or what is it?
Monthly for like, well, if I'm doing like a full on, like I have my full on audit that I do for people, but then like for myself and just for others for tipping away monthly, but then I do like a QBR, like that has to be, it's a quarterly business report, and that goes deep. Because you have to, like, obviously you have your kind of, okay, here's how everything's going. But I don't just look at insights. I look at my analytics and I look at sales and I look at the Shopify or I look at whatever. And everything has to match. I don't just look at, the actual just profile or the platform insights. Exactly. You have to see like how was sales impacted, or, where did that spike come in the traffic? And I look from there, and then like, Google Data Studio was like my best friend. So that kind of incorporates all the data anyway. So yeah, it's less manual, more techie, which is...
Yeah. But look,
I'm
works.
a nerd.
Yeah, no, that works like.
Yeah.
I didn't know Instagram hired slots to fix their servers when they crash.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, slots.
But is that who they hired to fix this bogus thing that's been happening the last day or two?
Slots are the very slow animal that barely move.
Oh, I thought Slots was a company, and I was like, I don't know what that is. I thought Slots was like this internet company. Oh, yeah. Because I was like, who was Slots?
Instagram was down yesterday, was it? Crashed yesterday?
And today it's still not great. Like,
iffy.
I literally was like, who the hell is Slots? And like, they need to get their shit together because they're not great. But you mean sloths.
Slots, that's what I said.
Slots. You said it like slots, like heading for the slots in Atlantic City.
Anyway. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, no, you are right, because yesterday and today, well, more so yesterday.
Yeah.
What the hell was up with everything?
I was posting stories and then I had to refresh and then it didn't refresh, but 2 of the 3 stories posted, but the first one didn't post.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, but also organic reach yesterday was shite.
Super bad.
Because the feed wouldn't refresh.
Yeah.
So if you've posted, like, I don't know, it's just like no one's going to see it.
Imagine launching a product yesterday. Imagine launching something yesterday on Instagram. Maybe like, oh my God. And it definitely happened.
Yeah.
It was definitely like someone in the world doing something. Like.
Someone in the world, apologies to you, whoever you are.
Yeah, sorry. Bruh.
But I was wondering, because you know the way, so WhatsApp are after like breaking EU rules on data privacy, they have a whopping bill of
225 million.
225 million euro.
Did I steal your thunder there?
Well,
apologies.
No, but like it is a big deal, right?
It's
so like
huge.
That, I don't know, does that have something to do with it?
Was that due to revenge porn? and stuff like that.
It was something to, well, hang on there now.
And the kind of thing being said, because I remember it was all over the radio yesterday about all these, because there's now a hotline.ie you can call if pictures like that or videos like that are leaked, and you can call and they can actually remove them for the first time ever.
See, I don't know, is it to do with that? I just think it was like actual
data breach.
Breach of data. It's mad because like whenever anything happens in terms of this, like the coverage on it is usually terrible. Like
everyone just goes to Twitter and complains.
But it's not even that. It's just like, why don't we report on this more? Like, I don't get it. Like, why don't we report when things like this happen? Because how many people use WhatsApp?
They should just put a report out, apologies, here's what happened kind of thing, or
just even like,
they don't have to. They're a private business. Like,
well, it's not even that. It's just, I think like the media doesn't cover any of this stuff, even though it's actually completely relevant because every single person uses WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Do you know? But anyway, they're going to appeal it, of course they are, but like obviously, as we know, Facebook owns Instagram and WhatsApp, so yeah, maybe
drop in the ocean though, to be honest. That's fine. And they'll probably write most of it after tax. I don't know how, but they will.
Yeah. This is how Jay becomes a millionaire. He's
this is the Filthy Truth podcast with Jay.
He's a bank account in where, Sweden?
Yeah, Bahamas, all these places, you know.
The Bahamas, there you go.
Excuse me. Poor old LinkedIn stories.
I mean,
getting the bullet at the end of the month.
Yeah, I took a hiatus from LinkedIn this summer. LinkedIn and Twitter I took a hiatus from. I'm
an absolute tit.
Why?
Because being a marketing podcast and all that stuff, you think I post this content to LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I've never posted content as King stuff to LinkedIn. Which mean you've never said anything to me.
Well, like I thought that it was kind of...
It's obvious. But I just never did it. I did Instagram and TikTok.
Okay. When I'm back on LinkedIn, which will be in the next week or two, let's start posting there.
I'll create a page and stuff, yeah. This, if you're listening now, you're welcome. This is the first podcast. You're going to see content on LinkedIn.
Yay. I know. I took a hiatus from there for the summer because it was kind of selfishly, I wanted to kind of focus on my projects in the summer. So I was like, I need to cut back on all of the channels that I'm available on. So I could be getting LinkedIn messages and I don't know, I deleted the app. I logged out.
So like you haven't done it since?
Nope.
Oh man, I'd have to log into LinkedIn right now.
Same with Twitter. I'll probably have to send a lot of apology emails. I know it's not best practice to do it.
Can I log into LinkedIn?
No. I know it's not best practice to do it, but I was getting, I was getting a lot of spam.
You told me that, yeah.
I was getting a lot of like salesy things and I wasn't really feeling LinkedIn at the time.
Yeah, if they needed you, they'd find you.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think and I was kind of getting annoyed because it is a massive channel for me for funneling. Like I get a lot of clients from it, but then I also get a lot of time wasters who you think are going to become clients and then they end up selling to you and they don't research your company, and I can't it just became like a not so nice place for me. Well. Exactly. So I left it for the summer. So sorry if you've been trying to reach me on LinkedIn. And Twitter I got rid of because I just found it so negative. Like I still have my account, but I logged out.
I go to Twitter for Formula One news or if something else happens in the world.
If something happens in the world, like searching the hashtag, that's it. Exactly.
Or Instagram is down. Those kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that's where I go to first.
You know what's a good old session as well though?
What?
Cup of tea, good cookie or a bit of cake, Great British Bake Off, and live Twitter feed.
Oh yeah, no. I've
Fun.
never watched a full episode of the Bake Off.
Well, you've never lived.
But you're into baking.
Are you okay?
You like baking?
I do enjoy baking. Yeah. Jules made a fresh batch of cookies last night.
There you go. I think don't you have to be into baking?
Not at all. You need to be into precision and stress. I'm joking. It's good. It's good. It's very enjoyable. Okay. Fun characters.
Jay, since our last podcast, which is all about OnlyFans, they're back.
I knew it.
They're back. Like
what a call! Like the greatest PR stunt maybe ever.
Well, yeah.
It had the world talking for 3 days about OnlyFans and how many mentions.
I know.
Like there probably is an article of what it was worth to them in PR.
Yeah. But I don't know because it was kind of out for a while, wasn't it? That they were packing up. Was it only a few days?
I think it was like 4 or 5 days, maybe. What would you type in? Worth of OnlyFans campaign?
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to get spam notes.
You're going to get retargeted so hard.
Worth of OnlyFans campaign. Listeners just hearing typing going on.
ASMR.
See, OnlyFans in June 21, they were seeking new valuation, funding for valuation of 1 billion. We said that. No, that's not saying it. There's nothing.
No, but I would say that like the amount of times that they were searched and people went on it and like
commented when you like in Twitter or this kind of stuff and just
yeah.
Sure, look, either it was a mistake, which I don't think it was, because there's huge teams in those businesses.
But at the same time, if you were a creator on OnlyFans and that happened, and then you like, it's kind of like if Instagram decided, hey, we're going to get rid of profiles, we're just going to be a publishing channel, a broadcast channel. Like, you'd literally be like, that is my income, or like, that's my
entire career.
Like there's so many people if they lost their Instagram accounts. And this is a reminder, please, like, know your Instagram password. The amount of people I know that don't know their Instagram password, and if they get logged out, they're like, I have no business.
No,
like, oh my God.
No, I remember we had the conversation. I changed all the stuff I started up, but you get the login link to the email.
Yeah, I know, but as in, like, it's scary how many big accounts are like, I don't have my password. Yeah. Anyway, it's giving me sweats because it's bringing me back to some Zoom calls I had where we've done the whole log out situation, and I'm like, okay. There's
clients I work with, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, can you just get me the login details for whatever Instagram stuff? And no worries, I've shared the doc with you. I'm like, And they've shared a doc, and it's been shared. You can see who has it and stuff.
Oh, yeah, no.
And it's every password to everything. No. And you're like, oh, stop.
Yeah, just like also if you've switched agencies, or if you're like, if someone else is managing your content, please change passwords and please remove everybody from your business manager accounts and everything. Anyway, sorry, we're going down a hole. Where was I going? Anyway, sorry. So the Instagram. So let's just say they were told, lads, we're not doing Instagram this way anymore. You'd be like, oh my God. And then obviously now they're back and they're like, oh, actually, never mind. We're fine. We're on track again. You'd always be on edge that they're going to do it again. So if you're an OnlyFans creator, are you not going to sit there and go, okay, well, phew, but what if that happens again? You know, what does that mean?
Do you not think word would spread fast of a budding company or app that would say, we'll take it from here?
I would say that will probably happen, but there's always going to be a massive amount of drop off, even of usership. So like if you'd lose
a lot of fans,
like as in fans, that's what I mean. So do you know
Patreon is always there? Patreon is always there.
Does Patreon do that kind of content though?
Yeah. Patreon is just it's OnlyFans, but it's Patreon. Do you know what I mean? It's the exact same service.
Not, okay.
It's a better feed, it's a better software, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it just Patreon is for comedians, musicians.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, I mean, I have a few people on Patreon, but they're like comedians or like content creators.
Do you follow people on Patreon? I don't follow anyone.
Yeah,
I like that though. You're supporting them.
Yeah, especially over lockdown, I did join a few Patreons just because like they were people who would have been gigging or you know, and it's like $5 a month.
Yeah.
Do you know
what is it like?
Cup of coffee, like.
In the link in the bio, cup of coffee, buy us a coffee for listening. What?
Yeah, because like these people literally had nothing. And like if you're listening to a podcast, for example, and you're getting really good, or like a podcast, or if you're literally looking at someone's content on social media and like they have no income, but they're still creating and providing either entertainment or value, you know.
Yeah.
For free usually. And it's just like,
I agree, Muriel. They should buy us a coffee in the link in the bio. Like.
Subscribe to their Patreon.
Yeah, what else do I have here? Reddit as a marketing platform. Have you ever used it?
Not as a marketing platform, no.
Either have I. I'd be very interested to see the results.
I've seen people, like I feel like personally, I'll never admit to being a digital expert. I don't spend enough time on Reddit to understand. Like I used it years ago more, but...
I'd be afraid to post on it.
I think, well, I know people who use it, but they're like American and they have like either gaming channels or streaming channels and they link it to Twitch and Discord and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I've never, like, I think in Ireland, if you said go, you know, join our Reddit, whatever it is, or subreddit or whatever.
Like, the reason I ask is Reddit adds a new option to place promotions within the post reply thread. So in the middle of a thread, your ad for your product is going to pop up.
Yeah, I mean.
It's exactly where the eyes are.
It is.
But I just haven't heard of it. I don't know anyone who's done it.
There's a lot of forums that have advertising options.
Yeah.
So I would assume it's just going to look like a programmatic ad.
Is forums still a big thing though?
Sometimes.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Usually for the wrong reasons though.
Like there's an event I'm in talks with doing for the agency and stuff, and they were just talking, but it's an evening with kind of audience, you know.
Yeah.
But it's an old soccer player, like a legend of, I won't say anything, but like, because anyway, it's a legend of a soccer player, would have a big following, but they're like, we don't want social ads. We don't think, like, it's word of mouth, it's paper, it's print, it's this kind of, like, the demographic is literally 45 to 65, like. So it's interesting to see, like that. Now we're talking about Reddit and these things, but they're like, we don't want any of that.
Programmatic ads or
That's what I
display
said,
ads.
But that's what I'm saying. In that scenario, should I not look at forms, if there is a form for these soccer heads or whatever it is, and then target ads that way?
You
for
could,
this.
yeah.
But it has to be localized to Cork, though, you see.
Well, you can. Like, I mean, you could do display advertising and then make it, like, suitable to that demographic. And then obviously make sure that you're putting out, or you're making a block list.
Yeah.
Same with Audience Network.
Yeah.
Like, if you're using that as a placement, it is going out on other, like, channels that are, you know, potentially not suitable to your brand. So you need to make sure, like, that happened to me a lot in Canada, where we had block lists that were, like, so big, because there's so many things like political, far rights, like really unsuitable websites that are obviously allowing display or programmatic or, you know, third party publishing advertising. So you could appear anywhere. So you need to be very mindful if you're doing any of those.
It's ad roll, isn't it? It's the main kind of one that kind of is the software I got to know for that, for the programmatic advertising. Can you, in that, I've never really done it. I've never deep dive into it that much. Like, can you then say, I don't want,
oh yeah, you can basically
websites,
put in,
I don't want car websites.
Yeah, like you can put in, like you can basically make a block list for every URL. So if you're, you know, if there's definitely sites that you don't like, you can whitelist and blacklist, right? So you can say, like, here are the sites I would ideally like to appear on. And you can pick, like, your publishing sites, your, like, media sites, for example. And then you can pick ones that you're like, I do not want to appear on here. And obviously, like, things like pornographic websites or anything like that. Now, I know obviously it's like, you'll hardly end up there. But at the same time, you know, you need to be mindful that, like, you could also end up there.
What's interesting as well is tickets are being bought at the venue. So you can't book online. So it's an old school event. And they don't want to do online tickets. They don't want Eventbrite. They don't want.
You could just do Google Display Network.
Yeah.
And do a Google ad campaign.
Yeah, it's
display.
just. It's really like a flip on the head of.
Yeah.
I'm like, you sure you want to work with me?
I mean, like Facebook ads, no?
Yeah. Again, maybe. Maybe they're just like, we don't want to spend on social media. We prefer to do posters.
Fair.
And I'm like.
Well, I suppose it depends. Well,
again, the audience, they said the Echo would work, the Independent would work. I'm like,
but you could do programmatic ads through them as well.
Yeah, I was looking at ad roll and I was like,
But you can actually go direct to source. You can go direct to the publishing people and buy programmatic ads off them as well.
On the Echo, I can get spots on the website.
Or like Reach is the main one, you know, and then you can be across like Cork Bio and all of their other channels as well. So I'm literally giving you free advertising here, lads.
Hit us up.
Free advertising to these media houses. But anyway, but you can do that route if you're not confident with doing any programmatic ads, whether it's through AdRoll or Taboola or whatever you're using, then you can go direct to media.
How much of a fan are you of programmatic ads?
See, I used to use them a lot.
In the agencies and stuff.
Well, yeah, and like I mean, I would do display advertising now and then, but I use it to complement like a Google Ads campaign. So if you're really, really niche with like creating a Google Ads campaign and it's specific to a location and you know, your business is quite niche or the keywords that you're using are niche and you're maybe not, like your budget is not actually spending the full amount every day, then I top it up with some display advertising to at least have like that funneling into, you know, the actual campaign spend, but to kind of do it from like top of funnel, because display ads typically in terms of conversion, if they're not retargeting, they're not going to really convert for you or really drive a lot of traffic to your site if you're very, very niche, but they're very good for awareness. Yeah. So there's pros and cons with them, but I have done like a lot of just like programmatic ads and been really specific with them, and like I've seen conversions off the back of them as well. So, but it depends on budget. Like I feel like programmatic and display always come to like the bottom of the list as a nice to have. But if somebody has a big budget and they want to literally be everywhere, then I'm like, well, we're doing the whole shebang.
ballpark would be 500 minimum a month, give or take, I would say, would it be?
What if you're doing everything?
No, for programmatic alone.
Oh, right. I would say $1,000 minimum.
Yeah. Minimum for programmatic.
Yeah.
So it's up to you if you want to spend that kind of money.
This is why it always goes to the bottom of the list for people, because they're like, oh, right, well, then no.
Kind of giddy on Friday evening, aren't we? This won't go till Monday, just so you know.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? You have a call at half past, don't you?
Yeah.
Just keeping an eye on the clock for Muriel. Muriel lads was 25 minutes late.
I was not. I was literally, I think I was only like 12 minutes late.
36 minutes late.
I was not. No.
And
I love farmers, but I blame them for me being late today. Oh my God.
How bad is traffic in the last weeks in schools and everyone's back to
That's it.
offices?
You see, we decided, I actually asked you, was 3:30 okay to record on a Friday? That's on me.
Rookie move.
That's on me.
Yeah.
Because schools close, people want to get out, people want to get in. Oh, mother of God.
Do you know what? I didn't think about it because I knew I'd be in the city. I didn't think about you coming in.
Anyway. Yeah, that's on me.
It's on you.
Come here. Happy anniversary.
Broski.
Happy podcastiversary.
Podcastiversary. Thank you so much for listening to everyone in the year.
Yeah.
We have no pro bonos. It's fine. Lads, it's fine. I haven't put out a call, to be honest. It's my fault. I should put a call out.
Look, things... We've got some things coming up.
You got some gold there, lads.
We have some things coming up. A little bit of a change coming. We'll tell you all about that.
Yeah, bro.
Whenever we tell you about that.
Thank you to everyone who's listened and listening. Nearly, I think, what's the number? It's near 10,000 downloads, if not over 10,000 downloads. Thank you so much to everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
It's amazing. Let's keep going anyway until one of us
pops our
gets
clogs.
sick of each other. Or that. Go on, good luck.
Bye.